Greetings and welcome, my junior doctors, to another episode of Let's Play Galacticare. Last left off, we've just finished Chapter 7, and we're doing quite well on the species list. Everyone has got a basic amount of representation. So many diseases are getting into the final stages of being covered. We still have some more diseases to be found, excluding the last ones on this list. Anyway, time to begin Chapter 8, One Species Trap.
Ms. Orion's efforts have paid off once again, and we finally have an in with the Zill. These admirable insectoids aren't the most popular sapients in the galaxy, but they are a hardy and industrious species, and the best resource managers around. We'll be assisting their efforts mining a trash-teroid belt, partnering with their hive's leader to convert their reclamation facility to a state-of-the-art hospital, a bespoke service only Galacticare can provide.
Indeed.
Welcome to Zill Space Director. Our new friends use this facility to mine trash asteroids and make
dreams come true. Earl Prince, Esquire, at your service.
Yes.
Ms. Orion and I have a gentle bugs agreement. We provide the refuse, and you provide the remedies.
That's right. We'll only be receiving a small amount of credits for treating patients here, but in return, Mr. Prince and the Zill workers will provide us with ample amounts of scrap
and use of my beloved Herald, who turns trash to cash. I hope you chaps enjoy a good tagline. Good news. I've decided to join your merry band of medics that come on full-time. Jolly good fun, what? I may not be a professional physician, but never fear. This old bug can certainly learn new tricks, and I don't come alone. Assisting me are my hymenopteran hangers-on I call chitters. Cheerful little chaps who boost my finesse with the physic. If you collect them, I'll get a Eureka, and you'll get money. I hope you'll quickly come to see what a boon I can be to your merry band.
So, simply get a new consultant, of course. Go with the Zill. He drops chitters. It's just another different type of critter that can wander about your station. You collect them, he gets experience, and you get a little bit of cash.
Well, Director, considering we've already hired a monk, a farmer, and a supervillain, I suppose we can overlook a lack of a medical degree. With Mr. Esquire now in your employ, we're about ready to go, I think.
So, need to activate all wings. We need to have a patient throughput that is quite high. Drops jitters. He's got a spark of inspiration. He's an entomologist. He's got pheromone. He starts at level 4. Alright, let's pick our other consultants. We've already had Tricky Pop for quite a while with us. You know what, let's bring Ultra XRD. And let's bring Bollock Gumbo for this one. No particular reason, just feel like having some other consultants on the list. Alright, so what is the deal with Zill? don't have their index just yet. Matter. Get into that. So, where do we have them? We have the shuttle bay over here, the entrance where the patients arrive, and on over here. And of course, there is this little charming fellow. Now, you may recognize this form somewhat, watching any other episodes. This is essentially the original form of our bone machine. This is what they were actually designed to do, which is kind of a neat concept. You can actually see the original version of the boning machine. And we will see it in action. But yeah, we have to work with some quite narrow spaces. So that's. Now let's just start with the basics then. Boning chamber. Laser surgery. Probably will be moving things around quite a bit. We can fit a skin lab in here. I really make the most use of all the space available to us. You'll be happy that we have a place where you can rest. What else is important? Forgot to set up a Den Garden. Alright, well, we'll do that later. Get a Marion up set up. A little bit of space here. Parasitology. Doesn't really slot in nicely. Put it there for there. Get a projectile medicine here. Let's see if we can get a centrifusion. Just about fits. And cerebral rehab. Basic setup. everything's all in, so we have sort of an idea of what's going on. Let's recruit some doctors. Not many high-level ones. Right, well, the skin lab is always useful to have. There's psychopaths.
Now that Mr. Prince is set up with a...
Magnificent! Let's get this medical manufactory open for business and give our patients the best show in the galaxy!
With Zill patients beginning to pour in, Ms. Orion would like to brief you on our new carapist friends.
I get to introduce you to the Zill. They're an incredible culture. They tend to keep to themselves, so I'm glad they trust us enough to make contact. You won't find more hardworking, adaptable sapients anywhere. They recycle and reuse everything they can, with no exceptions. Some cultures avoid them because they eat from bins, look like roaches, and don't always understand that a morgue isn't an appropriate source of protein. Their loss, I'd say. The Zill are also deeply meritocratic and cooperative, and constantly participate in a pheromone-based system of collective decision-making. Makes you wonder what we humans could do if we all got out of our own way.
Indeed. Yeah. They want bins, they like art.
A most estimable sapient, Director. I'm sure you'll agree. And a real boon to our clean...
Got to put up a reception desk.
bills.
Right, so zone is currently unpowered.
Ah, finally! The battery bots! You'll need to charge up these cheeky chappies and use them to power up the central generator and unlock each remaining sector. There must be some gizmo in this knick-knacketry that'll charge the things.
As a matter of fact, there is such a gizmo. Director, analysis of the battery bots shows we should be able to charge them in projectile medicine.
Sounds like just the thing. Let's have the first salvo forthwith.
Right. Give the canisters a priority projectile medicine.
The battery bot is fully energized and en route to the generator. I'll make sure Medi doesn't jostle it. Those things can store the energy of a modest but ample nuclear warhead. Director, the battery bot is being charged. Thanks to the sacrifice of that battery bot, it looks like the generator has enough power to unlock a new zone. Go ahead and pick one now. Excellent, Director. A fine and technically voluntary choice. It's worth noting that each successive zone will require more battery bots to power up.
Do we have enough people?
What ho, Director! An errant trash asteroid struck one of my teams during routine reclamation efforts, leaving my poor workers with terribly cracked exoskeletons. Perfect debut for our budding hospital, eh? See what you can do to mend their mandibles.
As you might expect, Ms. Orion has a new design for precisely this problem.
You don't say.
This is the Extra Ray, the microwave of medicine. Partially nicknamed because if any metal gets in there, the ensuing plasma is hot enough to start a fusion reaction. The Extra Ray can zap our patients with any kind of radiation on the spectrum. Most bands aren't useful, but if we need to image a patient's body, the Extra Ray can handle it, while only rarely melting their teeth. It can also sterilize things, like the internal biome of our lovely Zill friends. Then we can seal up their exoskeletons and they'll be good as new. Just make sure they haven't swallowed any ball bearings first. Oh, or grapes. Absolutely never grapes. I used it to heat up some that I had in the freezer, and the singularity it generated caused problems.
Right. Well, it's another big room.
I say, that Extra Ray puts on rather a splendid light show. I can't quite seem to look away. I find myself rather drawn to it.
Because of course, he's a bug. Bugs like to look.
Director, we have patients inbound, and it looks like they may have spent so much time in the trash that it's fused to their bodies. At least I very much hope that's why they have trash fused to their bodies.
Alright. Here we
I'm a
have
drag on the colony.
exofracture patients, but now we also have people with trash. The new disease.
Can you help?
Slightly singed,
Multiple systems failing.
testicrosis. Anyway. Let's set up the Extra Ray. Will cry out a lot of space. Don't have that much of. 3 more tiles are spacious. Save this Ray. Right. Kinda sure I'm gonna get right decorations in here. Partially, I will be able to solve that with these. I need exofracture to be prioritized. And let's get some seating down. And the game was kind enough to give us the decal for extra fracture. But that'll do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.